think if I was to go for a prediction, I'd say I think Trap's going to take it. And I'll say it's going to be a 4-2 for him. Although that could easily be wrong.
Yeah, I don't have any confidence in anything I'd predict here, so... None.
I predicted LaughNgamez to win 3-2, guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That was one of my more out there predictions, and, well, that turned out as it did. Anyway, we have got the Jin Air Protoss in the bottom right. Rocking the red, it's Trap.
And in the top left, he's blue. His name is Zest.
So we're on Lightshade for match number 1, and then we'll be moving on to the map, which will be picked by the loser of this match. Of course, it's a mirror matchup, so it's not important, really. The players are on even footing. And yeah, this should be a good best of 7, I feel.
Yeah, let the mirror continue in that production tab. Cybercore is a little bit faster for Zest there, but I'm not sure how much that matters in the long run.
Does that mean he's winning?
I guess. I don't know what else to really measure on, because they're literally doing the same thing like they always do.
Scouting worker health? There wasn't actually a scout for Zest, so he's playing a little bit greedy in that sense. So we'll have a slight economic advantage, and I guess that's why he's got the slightly quicker Cybercore. Little things like that. We figured it out.
No scouting.
Of course, that comes with its own risks. And Trap just having his probe move around. The probe pretty much gets a free pass until... the Stalkers or the Adepts or whatever comes out. Ooh, here's a question. Newbies Lab saying, who's your favorite player of all time?
Of all time? So, weird answer, but probably Fruit Dealer. So there was a time when Zergs were struggling back in Heart of the Swarm era, early Heart of the Swarm era. And they weren't doing very well. Then Fruit Dealer came out of nowhere and won a GSL or an MSL or something like that.
GSL, I think he got.
Yep, won at GSL, doing crazy stuff like Baneling drops that no one had ever seen before, and just playing out of his mind well, and he was great, and then he disappeared off the face of the earth and never competed again.
Honestly, that's one way to make your own legend.
Never forget him.
Fruit Dealer was in the scene and gone before I was even in Starcraft 2.
Yeah, and if you blinked, you missed him.
Yeah. And right now we see Zest, by the way, really starting to bully Trap a bit. This is the contrast between opening up with Adepts versus opening up with Stalkers. The Stalkers are just so much more beefy for Zest. He's almost able to get that shield battery. I don't think he'll be able to get it, but a nice little bit of pressure making Trap sweat a tiny bit. And oh, now Zest comes in with more Stalkers, so he's actually going to be able to get that battery. And really start pressuring Trap. Trap's got an Immortal on the way, so it's not like he's going to die, but yeah, this is a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, the Stalkers trade well with the Adepts for sure. They're great against Sentries, absolutely. Oh, one Stalker for Trap does go down. Oh, but Zest loses one at the same time.
Yeah, currently not the worst trades in the world for Zest. I like the attempt at getting an Adept into the main base of Trap. However, Trap really on it, able to block that. And the Immortal is now out for Trap, so Stalker pressure is not going to get anything done. And Zest is just going to have to go home to his Nexus.
Yep, he's got a worker lead, which is nice. He is working on Blink for his Stalkers, which helps them trade very well. What just... something died. Maybe a Stalker got left behind and it's toast. Don't know.
Yeah, a slight lead overall for Zest. He's now got the Blink on the way behind this. He's got the quicker Cyber, or the quicker Twilight Council, whereas Trap is rocking the Robo and the later Twilight, so Trap will have likely a higher Immortal count throughout the game. That's just the better defensive tool. Whereas, who knows, maybe Zest is going to try and make something happen with just Blink Stalkers on 2 bases. And I guess I never answered my favorite player. It's of all time, it's probably Tasia, I'd say.
Yay! Tasia's back.
He is. We're not going to talk about his current form or how much he's playing, but I think he shows up for GSL qualifiers, practices probably a few weeks before, and then heads on out.
Got some time. He needs to readjust.
But yeah, we see Trap. Zest has actually got a 3rd Nexus on the way. So does Trap. So yeah, these players are actually macroing up. This is going to be one of the more passive games we've had today.
Yeah, stats, I don't know if he's showing signs of aging or what, but it's hard to say for someone who, you know, does really well and gets deep into GSLs and everything.
I'm honestly amazed that Stats has been doing as well as he has been. And my reasoning for that is he's going to the military soon. And it's getting closer every day. So the fact that he's been playing so well, like making like a top 8 GSL, right? Or
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he ran final, like the final of GSL Season 2.
Yeah. So
yeah,
like he's still staying on it. So
definitely,
I wouldn't say he's exactly slacking. As we see this fight going on, Trap loses all of his Immortals. He's got the battery overcharge to try and hold on. The Stalkers for Zest are poking and prodding right now. Looks like Trap has to blink away. Numbers are definitely in the favor of Zest, and we have actually seen Trap just fall behind on workers as this game has gone on, partially just due to the harassment, which has thrown his probes around a little bit. Got a couple not mining. He's getting back on track, but he is at a rather notable deficit right now. His Immortal's going to get blinked on top of, popped one shot off by Zest, and yeah, numbers just come out. Zest is able to take the game. Well done by Zest. Takes game number 1.
About 90% of the time when a Protoss blinks Stalkers onto the enemy, it means they're gonna win because they're super confident about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The confident blink forward, as it said.
Yes. Yeah, if you're blinking away, it says something different. If you're blinking up, but not necessarily on top of your enemy, that says something different too. But you just blink on top of your enemy for the full Stalker surround, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. All right. Fantastic win there. And Protoss versus Protoss fans going to be very happy about this finals. It's good. It's a good matchup. I'd say it's a good mirror matchup for sure. TVT's in a good place as well. ZVZ can be in a good place, but often just kind of ends in Lingbane or maybe some Roaches, which is not my favorite thing.
Honestly, I stopped paying attention to ZVZ in like 2018 when it
fair.
was just Cyril Rayner finals for everything. It's like, okay.
We get it.
I've seen that show enough. And when I do turn into it, it's like they are playing amazing, but it's like, give us a PvP finals, or we do have a TVT finals, so I can't even say that.
Do have it? That's the what was it? Was GSL Season 1 a TVT finals?
Yeah, TY Cure.
Yeah, so that's the, like, Terrans don't really have much room to complain right now, is what I'm trying to say.
No, and then all top 4 Terran and in the King of Battles, so Terran's doing pretty well.
Terran's having a good year.
And right now it seems to be looking up just based off the amount of damage and chaos that Terrans have been throwing into games with like the Hellion openings, the mine drops. It seems that Terrans are just getting more damage done across the board lately with like everything they go for.
They figured some stuff out.
Yeah, and so now we're into the next match. It's going to be on Submarine, which was Trap's pick. In the top left, I've already said his name, the Jin Air Protoss.
And in the bottom right, he's red, and it is Zest.
Zest looking good as usual. Yeah, really solid play in that PvP. I know we honestly didn't focus on that game as much as we should have. But if you guys do want to go super in-depth onto the matches, just like Gemini who purchased the replays, seeing as how it's a trap tournament, so of course he did. You guys can pick up the replays too. Just for $5, the money goes straight to the players. You do want to get some high level matches to study and whatnot. And of course, if you do enjoy the stream out here on Trovo, we're new to the platform, still figuring it about, but we do know that you guys pressing the follow button is good, so go ahead and slap that if you happen to have a Trovo account, as it would be appreciated.
Takes you about 20 seconds to get a Trovo account, so.
Yeah, and if you've got Google autofill, it's just like bing bang boom, Bob's your uncle.
You know what I want, LaughNgamez?
What do you want, Falcon?
I want someone to figure out a PvP opening that's different and viable. Because by golly, every PvP starts out the exact same way every single time. There is no variation for the first 3 minutes. I just want someone to be like, you know what you can do? Is only get one gateway and be fine somehow, magically, right?
There is the one gate expand, but it's not that viable at the pro level.
Oh, you die.
I know this because I've cast a ton of Alpha Star games at this point, and one of the Alpha Star iterations does it all the time, and it's kind of like a magnet in which it just baits the other Protoss players like, you can't go for a one gateway expand, I'm gonna kill you.
Hey, knock it off. Yeah.
And then Alpha Star just builds a ton of shield batteries, pulls probes, and holds the inevitable all in. And so I've actually started doing that in my own ladder games. And, I mean, at the Masters level, it works out. At the pro level, they're a little bit better at punishing those things, though, so it's not quite
I like
as viable.
taking inspiration from Alpha Star. That's fantastic. I like it.
It actually is awesome, because you just know 100%. You're like, oh, the all-in's going to be coming my way. And then lo and behold, the all-in comes. Since you know it's been coming, you're ready to defend. And yeah, it's a really fun way to play PvP.
Yeah. If you know an all-in's coming, it's not that big of a deal.
And that's what happens if you go for a gateway into Nexus in PvP. It'll come your way. We've got Zest and Trap microing. Zest overextended a little bit, though. Loses a Stalker. That was actually like really bold, just being like, yeah, I'm going to get right in your face on your side of the map. So Trap comes out ahead on that a little bit. However, now Zest has got more Stalkers, and he's had his Wheaties this morning. He's just feeling so confident moving across the map while there's this proxy that Trap's gone for. And he's now got an Immortal that's probably going to try and cut off Zest's Stalkers, I imagine. I'm not sure what exactly the play is going to be, but at the same time, Zest's got a pylon at the natural of Trap. These guys are just being so aggressive.
I like it, man. PvP is aggressive.
I think that this has got to work out, though, for Trap, right? He didn't invest in the Nexus. He's got the Immortal and the Prism, and that's going to be huge. But at the same time, Zest is just going to walk up here with all of his Stalkers. He can target down the pylon. I think we're going to go into a PvP base trade.
Yay! Look at this. It's like, wait, all your stuff's over there? Well, I'm over here.
Yeah. Zest can recall, though. If he pulls the probes and recalls after getting a bunch of damage done, I think he can be fine, but his gateway does get unpowered. He's got an Immortal and a battery that can be overcharged. Yeah, I don't know who's going to come out on top of this right now. There's the recall from Zest, bringing his Stalkers home to help out, and he is going to have this Immortal pop out. Neither player really has any probes left, however.
Yeah, this is very low econ all of a sudden.
Zest is actually going to be behind on this, though. And it's 8 probes to 5. Zest's Nexus at his natural base isn't really going to be a factor.
No, it's dead. So we're back to one base at 5 minutes, everybody.
Yeah, Trap's got the Prism. Zest has got a battery. though, to try and hold on back at home, but he's really going to be getting bullied. And
Cyber Cordet is huge.
Yeah, it really is. And gonna lose a Stalker. Like, Zest cannot afford to replace that.
No one can afford to replace anything right now. This is super low. Nobody has any money whatsoever.
Yeah, Zest gets his Immortal force fielded out. The battery overcharge does save it, and he does actually pick off a couple of traps units without losing anything.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Zest is one Stalker out on the map. But look at Trap's economy. It's starting to take off, and it's getting to the point which he's able to warp in units, or he'll be able to warp in units consistently. Oh, look at this.
And that shield overcharge is a game changer for sure. That would have been dead Zest without it.
Alright, the one Stalker now trying to move in for Zest. Trap just built a wall. Says, nope, you can't get in. So the Stalker for your Trap's going to be coming back. All the while Zest is trying to hold on to that pylon, but it eventually falls. GG gets called. Trap is able to take it. Just coming out slightly ahead. Having a better position due to that Prism in that PvP. Well done.
Just that much better of a position. Not huge, but just a little bit better economy. Able to pressure, and yeah, did not want to finish that match out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so while we wait to find out what the next map is from the players, you guys can go ahead and check out that match-arena. We've still got quite a few of those coupon codes to use. If you tune into StarCraft 2 events regularly, chances are you've seen one of these. A match-arena. You can basically click that link, press the contribute button, use the coupon code LFI1. It will give 50 cents to the prize pool for free. So literally while you're waiting for the next match, it's a great thing to do. And it's a good habit if you want to routinely support StarCraft events.
Yeah, and the players appreciate it as well. All right, so fairly quick 2-0 lead here in our PvP Best of 7 finals. Sometimes these can snowball a little bit, or someone gets down early and like just kind of gets a little bit discouraged. So hopefully we'll see both these players fighting hard here on Dathara. This map 3 is always an important one in Best of 7s, no matter what the series count is. Oh, is it 1-1?
Yeah, it's 1-1.
PvP confused me immensely. We're good. 1-1 moving into Game 3. Game 3 is important anyway.
I was about to be like, no one should be feeling discouraged right now. It's tied.
Everyone's great. They have the best attitudes.
This is what happens when we change up event times, guys.
Yeah. Falcon brain goes too much.
Falcon barely got any sleep. He's just trying to wake up, and I'd usually be going to bed right around now.
There we go. Both of us. Peak of our game.
But it was worth it for having these awesome players come out to the tournament. It's tied up 1-1. In the bottom right-hand side of the map, it is Jyn Air Greenwing's Trap.
And in the top left, he's best, and you know him as Zest.
Mm-hmm. Both players going for the pylon in their wall. That's one thing that I'm wondering. Like, I'm not a main Protoss player or anything, so I haven't paid too much attention to it, but at some point Protoss players transitioned away from having the pylon sitting at the back to having it actively be part of the wall. And I don't know why that is, to be honest. May you know the map 1, Gadelski? I hope I pronounced that right. You should be able to rewind the stream, I believe, on Trovo, so you can just skip back to that. See any of the other matches. Of course, the VODs will be available on my YouTube as time comes on, so you guys can check that out. That's linked down below. And then Falcon's also got Not the one, but the 2 YouTube channels now.
Yeah, but you guys just care about the Starcraft 2 one. There's very little overlap between Brood War and Starcraft 2.
It's kind of like you know that scene Willie from The Simpsons, like god darn Starcraft fans, they ruined Starcraft.
Pretty much. I mean, nobody ruined anything, but yeah, Starcraft.
It's just
Brood War fans and Starcraft 2 fans do not get along.
They're natural enemies.
Yes, like the Starcraft fans and the Starcraft fans.
Meanwhile,
Starcraft fans and the Dota fans. Yeah. I think the joke works. We can make it happen.
Yeah, it can work. But it's like, just, I don't understand. Some people just don't like it. I do find that, like, if I'm browsing Reddit or something, that, like, the Brood War fans are really pushy about, like, anything they post.
Oh, yes.
Like, the slightest bit of Brood War news is, like, something that's huge.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's also fun to check out Brood War. Like, I'm sure watching Flash's tournament in the ASL, and then sometimes I'll just tune in and it'll be on. I'm like, sure, I'll watch some Brood War, even though I haven't got a darn clue about what's going on.
When's Classic getting back?
I think Classic gets back just in time to take part in, like, the final GSL, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh.
Or maybe I'm thinking of another pro, but one of the pros that recently retired, I think it was Classic, his, like, return should be timed out just in time to get back for one of the final GSL seasons.
So, is it 2 years or 1?
We got 2 years to go. This is the first year we're in. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
he's not back until 2021.
Yeah. Or you're talking 2 years about for the service length. I think it's like 18 months or so. Or 21, 18 to like 21 months or so.
So he started in November of 2019. So.
Okay, yeah. So add 2 years or so, 2021.
Right.
And when I say the final GSL, guys, I mean the final confirmed GSL that we'll be having. As far as what's been confirmed for EPT so far. Quite a bit going on this game so far. We've got Trap getting his Nexus up a little bit later than Zest. Meanwhile, Zest is making a Void Ray, I guess, just to feel safe. And Void Rays are really good at defending attacks.
You've got one already. He's making another one.
Mm-hmm. 2 Void Rays, I dig it.
Me too.
Trap needs like 60,000 stalkers to deal with that if they're behind a battery.
Which they're not, because they're out here on the map. Oh, nope, they're pulling back. Yeah, but sure, pushing into Void Rays when they've got an overcharge available is a real bad time.
Yeah, so I mean, Zest should be set to defend this as long as his units aren't too far out of position, but the Void Rays are right now. And Zest has got no heads up that this is coming. If Trap gets in, targets down that battery, he can actually make a play. And, oh my gosh, it looks like he's going to be able to make that happen. The Stalkers he has just melt away. The Pylon's going to be unpowered. The Oracle is going to target down the Sentries, which is good. But there's no battery for these Void Rays to retreat to right now. I think Trap just pulled a quick one on Zest.
Yep, that's your GG. Army supply 21-6. The probes have been pulled, boys, but that's it. Trap takes the 2-1 lead in the series. Looking good, too.
Okay.
Like, you think Void Rays are good? Pfft, come on. Just kill the shield battery and they're nothing. Nothing, I say.
Turns out the Void Rays aren't good when they're completely out of position and you roll up with a perfectly timed attack. Well done.
Exactly.
Well done indeed.
Exactly.
Gadelsky said, thought you guys were streaming on Afrika. We're all over the place. Yeah, but we are still doing those events too, so it's gonna be, you can find us probably weekly. That's the plan right now for these events anyway.
Just we go where the Starcraft is. How about that?
Yeah. Trovo has given us the chance to do even more Starcraft, so it's like, why not? All right, so Zest is going to be able to pick the next map. And she says, pillars in all caps. He's really excited for that map.
Yeah, excited for pillars.
And we'll get all the players on into the lobby. If SC2 never existed, what other game would you be casting? Well, that's like an alternate timeline kind of thing. If SC2 never existed, I'd probably never have got into esports.
I mean, my short answer is Brood War, so ha!
Yeah, you've got it all figured out.
I have options.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't be casting at all, if I'm being honest. But like, if SC2 suddenly just disappeared, what would I be casting? I don't think I'd honestly want to cast anything else. There's nothing that really nothing really piques my interest. I love Starcraft so much, Starcraft 2 so much, that it's like, I wanted to cast it. I liked watching other casters. I liked watching the players.
No Warcraft love?
I've never really played Warcraft.
Okay.
And so yeah, I'm like StarCraft 2 ride or die. I got in like 2014-ish was when I started like watching. Started casting like 2016 or something, and 2015, 2016, I don't know. Anyway, in the bottom left, we have got Zest.
And in the top right, it is Trap. I was gonna do a long trap, but then I remember the Discord does some noise gating stuff and it wouldn't work. So, short trap it is. Keep that short.
Yeah, I mean... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't know. Whatever game would pique my interest next and take the place of StarCraft 2. Like if I got into like CSGO or something. Which is a possibility. If I hadn't had StarCraft, I'd have spent a lot more money on video games over the years. Hey, Falcon, you know how you asked for a different PvP opening?
We got it!
And we're about to see why you don't do that.
'Cause shenanigans.
Oh, gosh. Zest. Trap totally sees this coming. He's like, I was not born yesterday. But at the same time, is there anything he can do because of the way he opened up?
Yes.
Can he stop this?
Yes, I believe.
I don't know, like, Zest is just gonna throw up a shield battery. And then it's like, what do you do as Trap?
Trying to find a path here. It's the most memorable game of StarCraft 2 you've ever seen. Life versus MVP. Oh, life. Why do all the good Zerg players disappear?
I can't tell you that.
Speaking of life, like, I don't know if I can remember any particular game, but there was one major tournament where he was just going 3-base Baneling Bust on Terrans every time, and they were refusing to make tanks, and he just killed so many Terrans with just mass Ling and Baneling, and it was the craziest run that I've ever seen.
The Adept is gonna get back to the battery, and yeah, right now this is just looking a little bit hard for Trap to hold on. The Void Ray is gonna lock onto one of the Stalkers, almost killing it, but it does stay alive, so it can get to the shield battery. The problem with this is, though, on Pillars of Gold, that the Void Rays can bounce back and forth between the main and the natural rather easily. Second Void Ray will be out soon for Zest, and he'll be able to keep this going. Looks like Trap is doing a rather good job handling this, probably the best that I've seen so far, although he does lose a Stalker, which is not good. He can't really afford to lose any units, and I think he's about to lose a second. Oh, that's just That could be game, honestly. Trap losing 2 Stalkers just like that. Now it's 2 Voids against 2 Stalkers.
Numbers do not favor the Stalkers there.
Oh, another one dies. Oh, what a disaster. There's a 3rd Void Ray on the way. Trap's got literally just gateway production to try and hold on against this. I think he's done.
It's 14 to 8 army supply. Additional Stalkers are warping in. Shield batteries at the ready. Zest not really jumping on this.
Oh, that Void Ray being exposed, the injured one, makes me nervous. It should be the full HP one that's the furthest out. So Zest might want to micro that back. The 3rd Void Ray did just pop out, however, and 3 Void Rays with prismatic alignment cut through Stalkers like butter. Zest.
The Void Ray micro is so much more fun these days.
Look at that. Stalker just disappears. You want to see a magic trick? I'll make your Stalkers disappear, says Zest. Miss micro from Zest as he loses one of his units. However, the Void Rays, come forward. But then get pushed away. Enough of the Stalkers are there to actually start one-volleying down the Void Rays, which is very important. Void Rays scale in a very funny way.
They do.
Like, early on, like, one Void Ray is good against, or a couple Void Rays is good against, like, a number of Stalkers. Then the Stalkers take the lead. But then if it's just pure Stalker against Void Rays, eventually the Void Rays become good again.
Right.
Not that we see that situation too often.
Not really, no.
This could be really good for Zest, as his Voids are cutting up quite a few of the Stalkers. However, he does lose 2 in the process.
And might lose another one. Ooh.
Does lose another.
Dude,
looks like he's going for a quick play to lock Trap out of his natural base.
Oh, brutal. Oh, it's such a brutal play to force field your opponent out of somewhere in their own base. Oh. Yep. Alright, well, that's the last force field.
Yeah, that was
Stalkers
a cool play.
Shield battery getting sniped. Nice pick off there by Trap. And that's another dead Void Ray. I think this is a Trap is coming back, man.
Zest needs to target down that injured Stalker. He does get it. He's keeping his Void Ray alive.
But not super well. Oh, man, I can't believe it. That, like, 4 HP on that thing.
The shield batteries are unpowered and have been killed off. Yeah, Trap has held this, it looks like. Zest never quite got the snowball that he needed, and he doesn't have a Nexus, whereas Trap does.
Yeah, Zest is in a huge amount of trouble. 2 base versus 1 base where there's this many Stalkers and that. Yeah, the army advantage is big here. The Void Rays don't really want to engage, but they kind of have to. They're both dead. And now it's just more Stalkers for Trap and GG. Trap 3-1 lead.
Wow, good, really good hold from Trap. I haven't actually seen a Protoss really hold that in that situation, so good to see that it can be done. Really good execution by Trap. Of course, both players made mistakes there during that high micro situation a little bit, but Trap able to come out ahead, realized that he had the critical mass of Stalkers, really started to throw his weight around and got more and more little wins.
Yeah, for sure. There was that one moment where there were 2 Stalkers for Zest. I mean, there was just, or for Trap rather, and Zest didn't jump on it. Like, he didn't push the advantage at all, and then suddenly it was 4 Stalkers and then 5 Stalkers, and then suddenly the Stalker ball was a lot better. There was a tiny little window there where I think some more damage could have been done and maybe helped with that snowball, but the advantage was not pressed in a timely fashion, and the comeback was real. That hold was beautiful.
All right, so we will have Zest's next map pick, which is going to be Romanticide. And he's either got to get one on the board or he's going home.
What happened to SOS, says Newbie.
I think he got a little complacent. And the Legacy of the Void just naturally trended against his style, because Legacy of the Void itself is more chaotic than it used to, than StarCraft was in the past, I'd say. So going a tier above the already chaotic Legacy of the Void, there's not really room for that.
Definitely not.
And I think it's a shame that SOS hasn't realized that and trended towards more macroing and more standard play. I think that's a bit of a shame.
It is. And he's 27. I mean...
Yeah. He should...
Esports time, that's a little old.
He'll be going to the military soon, I think. But then again, if you take a look at Dongregu, he's like 30 or something.
It's true.
Did his military service, came back. DRG he's 29. So
he's the only player to do military, come back and make a semifinal of a GSL, so...
That is true, yeah. That's the best result we've seen so far in that regard. All right, in the top left-hand side of the map, representing Raise Your Edge Gaming, he is Zest.
And in the bottom right, he's blue, he's feeling good. It is Trap.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Zest if you want him to make the reversal happen. Not a full reversal, he needs to win 3. And it really looked like he was going to get that last game in my mind. But no, Trap had a really good hold, and now he's got his work cut out for him. I think Zest is older, like 28, right? Yeah, most players are old. A really cool thing that Liquipedia has started doing, though, is they started adding, sections for players, whether they've done their military service.
Yeah.
That's something that's really cool.
I think I'm actually partially responsible for that.
Oh?
So, we were talking about it on the Falcon Paladin Hour on our podcast, me and Somicron, for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. We're like, it'd be so nice if military service information was somewhere. Because you never know. You're like, has this person served the military yet? I guess I'll Google it and try to find out. And then, yeah, after a couple weeks of that, it just popped in there. And the guy who put it in is like the most active editor of Liquipedia. And he listens to the pod.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah, so I think we might have planted that idea. But yeah, that's awesome that he's doing that. And I'm sure it's a ton of work for him because it does suck digging that information out. But now it's Liquipedia available and so nice. All right, both players opening up double Stalker here. Which, that is the difference about PvP is. You want to go double Stalker? Do you want to go Depths? Do you want to make a Sentry maybe?
I'm in the Stalker gang.
Yeah, I think Stalker is probably the best option too.
But that's just because I suck at microing Adepts.
Fair. It's not easy.
I never answered that question. Most memorable game of SC2, Life versus MVP. I think the one that really stuck out for me was when I was like, wow, people can be really darn good at Starcraft. I think it was like the round of 8 or the round of 16, BlizzCon 2014, Tasia versus Sue. That was the match that I saw, because Sue is just such a monster, and then Tasia was just parade pushing as usual.
Nice. Oracle getting started here for Zest. Some of that harassment. But when your opponent's making nothing but Stalkers, it's a little bit iffy.
Yeah, look at this. A pylon on the way for Trap. He wants to close this one out quickly. And as he's already bullied one of Zest's Stalkers to the red, he's trying to block it with the probe, and I think he has enough for it to get picked off. That is so cute. Zest has got no other units on the way. He started a shield battery at his natural, but he is in big trouble here as there's going to be 4 Stalkers in his main base. Probes have to be pulled to help out. Trap could have overextended a little bit in the face of this, as Zest is now trying to pull off his own block. Looks like he grabs one.
Yeah, 2 Stalkers go down, but the trades have not been equitable.
Zest now has a shield battery at his natural, though. He's got the Oracle counterattacking. There's no prism, or no battery, pardon me, at Trap's base, so Trap is going to have to recall, loses probes, and Zest holds on, grabs 4 probes, has his Nexus up. Really, really great spot there by Zest.
Yeah, that was tight, but managing to pull it off there. Great block at the top of the ramp. killing a couple of trap stalkers who just wanted to get out of there, and then the Oracle sneaking across, and now the counterattack from Zest here. This has been a really good series.
Yeah, Zest has got to get home, and he actually recalls, feeling he overextended a little bit. I guess he felt that he needed to do that, so that's a very respectable choice, because now Trap has got a big number of stalkers again. It's the one Void Ray, this time at a prism, or at a battery, so it can hold on. Zealots had to be warped in just to try and buy time for Zest.
Oracle's making a beeline for Trap's mineral line, though.
It gets unpowered.
I don't know that it matters if his probes die if he just wins this handily on the other side. And oh,
yeah.
Stasis, beautiful
GG
Stasis,
gets
but it
called.
doesn't matter. Trap.
Trap, yeah, able to take the 4-1 victory. That was very sudden in the end, though. Just got that killer's instinct, and Zest having that pylon be unpowered, so then the Void Ray could be picked off, was what really sealed it for Trap. Maybe he could have made it start repair or start healing the shield on that pylon a little bit quicker, but in the end, I don't know if he was just dead overall. A 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1 finish there. Looking really fantastic today is Trap. Great, just great overall invitational for him. Looked stellar pretty much every game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he just had too much army is what it was. He just had a huge advantage in army supply there, and with the stalkers, and he didn't expand, so more resources ended up going to army, and that was it, man.
Yeah.
Swing. It was a swing. It looked like Zest had stabilized for a second there, but not in the end. All right, good stuff.
Yeah, close games, really great games overall today. That's the wrap on our first event on Trovo. So
hope you enjoyed it. Thanks everybody for coming out. Tell your friends. We're going to be out here on Trovo. Follow us both on Twitter for information about future invitational events. That's the best place and the best location to get that kind of information. Obviously, we'll be shown as live on Team Liquid, which LaughNgamez does a great job about it, posting out there. And if you want to join our Discord servers, you can do that as well. If you just search Falcon Paladin Discord, you get some information about that.
Yeah, there's lots of places to find us, but we go by our usernames. Thanks so much to everyone who tuned in. Thanks so much to everyone for chatting. It was nice talking to you guys. Before you guys do head out, go ahead and hit that follow button on the stream. We got 12 followers, so that's awesome to see some interaction there. But if you do have a Trovo account, please do hit that follow button. And yeah, we'll let you guys know when we're gonna be back. If you do follow our Twitter and things, that's probably the best place to get notified on that stuff. But
absolutely,
keep an eye out is all we'll say.
All right, well, very good. Thanks again for joining us. If you haven't used one of the coupon codes for the Matcherino yet, please do so. The more of those codes we use, the happier the players are going to be, and the money goes directly to the players, not to us.
Not to us, to the players. And yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to add.
No, that's it.
All right. GG, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Stay safe. See ya.